Elliott Management, led by famed billionaire investor Paul Singer, warned clients that extreme conditions present at the current economic landscape have made possible a set of outcomes that would be at or beyond the boundaries of the entire post-World War II period, according to a letter obtained and published Wednesday by the Financial Times. The letter also cautioned that economies around the world are on the path to hyperinflation, a term referring to uncontrollable acceleration of the cost of daily necessities. While hyperinflation is not inevitable, Elliott said it would cause global societal collapse and civil or intentional strife if it does occur. Now, see, hyperinflation is bad. Global hyperinflation, I mean, that's just like terrible, right? No one's arguing that. Like, isn't it obvious that that would be the case? Now, predicting global societal collapse and civil or international strife, I mean, we already have international strife right now. Okay. Elliott Management is one of the world's most well-respected hedge funds with approximately 56 billion in assets under management. Elliott's bets are up more than 6% this year, and the firm has recorded an annual loss just twice since 1977. I was born in 1977. The market has been under intense pressure this year. Now they're giving us some backfill. Intense pressure this year as Federal Reserve rapidly tightened interest rates in a scramble to lower inflation. The Russia-Ukraine war has added to existing supply chain difficulties and caused a jump in food and commodities prices. Yes, it has partially done that, but there's also other reasons why food and commodities prices are up. Fed's benchmark rate is its highest level since 2008. The U.S. inflation rate has fallen slightly from its peak over the summer, though it ran at hotter than expected 8.2% in September. The Florida-based entity noted that current conditions are uniquely dangerous even when compared to past financial crises, such as the Great Recession in 2008 and the 1970s inflation surge. Investors should not assume they've seen everything. And then they asked the guy, he's like, I'm not going to talk about it. I just put the letter out there. Elliott stated that markets face an array of frightening and seriously negative possibilities, with a 50% decline in equities a normal potential outcome given the risks. I do think the stock market has to be in trouble when you're going to see, my opinion is, I feel like my opinion is that let's assume that the stock market does actually have to have some relation or correlation to earnings, company earnings. Let's assume that's true. If you have a recession, if you have inflationary pressures, if you have a squeezing of the margins, okay, a compression of the margins, you will not have great earnings. And therefore, the stock market as a whole should probably have to go down. Now, 50%, I don't know that, but I do think that's not unreasonable to make that thought, take that to its conclusion. Said the firm also took aim at the Fed and other central bankers, accusing policymakers of exacerbating the current trouble and being dishonest about the root cause of the decades high inflation currently plaguing American consumers. Well, it's very odd. I was reading on Twitter, somebody's like, well, they print too much money, or we have a fiat currency, or any number of things. And then other people say, well, that's not it. It's this, this, and this. That is a change from the past when people were saying it didn't exist in the first place, inflation. So someone's like myself in January, look, we've got to get this under control, this inflation. This is bad. Inflation is the worst thing that can happen to the middle class and to the poor. The rich, the wealthy, they have money, they don't care. No one seemed to care. I'm not saying I was the first person. I'm just saying I was upset about it in January. Didn't have any traction. Some people say, oh, well, it's because you printed too much money. Some people say, oh, well, You have a fiat currency. Some people say that it's the Russian war, whatever the Russian thing is going on over there. Uh, like to me, like just not to be a Russian apologist, but the United States has spent billions of dollars and committed billions of dollars to this war. That has to show in earnings somewhere to the war machine. So, I mean, you know, some industries are going down. There's got to be some industries that are super hot right now. How is Raytheon doing? I haven't checked. Are they doing poorly? Anyway, um, um, Fed Chair Jerome Powell and other central bankers have largely blamed the problem on unprecedented supply chain disruptions without acknowledging the impact of historically loose fiscal policy during the COVID-19 pandemic. That's fair. That's a fair statement. Anyway, how do I put this? If we do, if we do go down the path of hyperinflation, world hyperinflation, we're all screwed. Like, it doesn't matter how much savings you have. It doesn't matter. We're just all toast, except for the wealthy. So don't, I don't know that you're going to protect against hyperinflation.